There is a famous quote that newspapers are world's mirrors, and that's true. But let me add, newspaper or even a good newspaper is not a ticket to your seat in RBI, NABARD or SEBI. Now, if any time there has been a question in your mind, is it worth reading a newspaper? Is newspaper reading a waste of time or not? How to read a newspaper? What is the objective of reading a newspaper? How much time to devote while reading a newspaper? अगर इनमें से कोई भी क्वेश्चन आपके दिमाग में आया है कभी भी, then do let me know by commenting in the comment section. और इन सारे क्वेश्चंस को मैं इस वीडियो में एड्रेस करने वाला हूं, ठीक है? सो बी विद मी, बट बिफोर दैट आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू टू सब्सक्राइब टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल. And you can also join our Telegram channel for some free content. The link to join our Telegram channel is given in the description of this video. So I want to be very honest, first of all, that I am not a voracious newspaper reader and I am not habitual to it, and that's all due to paucity of time. But of late there have been very high number of queries with respect to how to manage newspapers. So I started reading newspapers 2 weeks back and I did a lot of analysis. And I want to do something practical with you. Let's take newspaper of 21st December. You can pause this video and take the newspaper. This is The Hindu of 21st December if you are having it at your home. Now if I open this newspaper, right, first of all it is 14 pages. 14 pages of newspaper, and each page is worth 4 pages of a normal size book. So this is almost like 56 pages. Can you read 56 pages on daily basis, right? If your objective is to clear RBI, NABARD or SEBI, is it required? That is what we are going to discuss. If you open this newspaper, first news on the front page, Lok Sabha passes bill to link electoral rolls with Aadhaar. Important for your paper. SEBI halts futures trading in key crops. Important, right? Then if I go to the next page, lot of irrelevant news start. HC extends time for Varavara's surrender. 3 trampled to death by elephants. Health a major reason behind witchcraft related violence. Oh my God. Will restore 100% power in Jammu and Kashmir. Farmers block rail tracks in Punjab. 3 therapists from Kerala fear drowned in Telangana. What are we reading here? Is this required? With 4 new cases, Kerala's Omni count rises to 15 and the list will go on, right? So while reading this newspaper, you have to filter lot of news, and that's a headache in itself. Second, even if you want to read anything relevant, hope you are able to identify what is relevant for you, and you are reading that from the newspaper. But just reading it from the newspaper will help. Will you be able to remember it till your exam? Will you be able to solve all the questions related to this article in the exam even if you don't revise? No, that's not possible. So you would either have to make your own notes, which is time consuming, or you would have to highlight it in the newspaper and keep these newspapers safe, right? From wind, rain, rats, everything till your exam. Huge task, right? Something not easy. And the third point I want to make is this newspaper that comprehensive? Even if I ask you to read this 14 pages or 56 pages worth of a book, is that comprehensive? क्या इसमें से आपको योजना, कुरुक्षेत्र, PIB, सारी स्कीम, सारी रिपोर्ट्स जस्ट इस न्यूज़पेपर में से मिल जाएंगी? नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. So what I'm trying to say, first of all, I am not trying to say that newspaper reading is bad and it is total waste of time. No, but since there is a lot of filtering required, you would have to make your own notes, which is very, very time consuming, especially for the working people, and it is not something which can give you comprehensive coverage. So to some extent, I would say that if you are spending, say 1 hour or 1.5 hours or 2 hours, and more than that, I can't even think of, then to some extent, you are wasting a lot of time of yours, a precious time of yours, right? Now, what should be the purpose of reading newspaper? Now, having said that you might waste your time while reading a newspaper, but still newspaper reading is a must. You might feel that I'm contradicting myself, but try to understand my point. हमें ये 14 पेज नहीं पढ़ने हैं. हमें क्या पढ़ना है? हमें सिर्फ relevant पढ़ना है. Relevant क्या है? Which helps us fulfill our objective of getting a seat in RBI, NABARD और SEBI. ठीक है, तो वो रेलेवेंट क्या है वो मैं आपको बताने वाला हूं. आई थिंक द पर्पस ऑफ रीडिंग द न्यूज़पेपर इज थ्री फोल्ड. फर्स्ट इज opinion building. Opinion building is something very much required. First of all for interview, then for descriptive writing, whether it is ESI, FM, ARD or descriptive English. Opinion building is a must. Or opinion building, it's a truth कि वो आपको किसी और की ओपिनियन पढ़कर ही आएगी. अपना ओपिनियन हम में से किसी का नहीं होता. हम इतने बड़े बुद्धिशाली जीव नहीं है that we have our own opinions on economic issues and social issues. What we read, we tend to form our opinion from that, right? So opinion building में बहुत बड़ा रोल है. Then vocabulary is important even from your exam point of view and otherwise also, right? So vocabulary is the second purpose, and the third purpose is the comprehension ability. Comprehension ability क्यों कह रहा हूं मैं? In your descriptive English paper, Pressy and comprehension, that is all based upon comprehension ability. And if you have a good comprehension ability means the ability to understand something after reading it. If your comprehension ability is good, then only you will be able to build good opinion. It's a cycle in itself. Right? So good comprehension ability will help you to understand the articles better, and that will help you to have good opinion. So now how to smartly read a newspaper? I would tell you what to read from this newspaper. I only prefer reading the editorial section. What? The editorial section. Now this is the editorial section on 21st of December, right? The first editorial is amid vaccine booster talk, context matters a lot. So basically here they are talking about whether booster dose is required or not. So that's a very good article. It is related to your topic health in social issues. Then there is a article on for Afghan women, it's the great regression. So basically the plight of Afghan women is discussed there. Now you might think that what we have to do with Afghan women, but the points that you will be able to understand from here will help you to address some of the issues, or will help you to understand some of the issues with respect to gender gap even in India. So again this becomes possible, right? Then there is a article on the sustained attack on federalism, which basically talks about that how central government has tried to tilt the balance in its favor by delaying the GST compensation, by having some clauses in its favor in 15th Finance Commission, right? And then increasing the state finances in the schemes launched by center. So all this shows that how center is controlling most of the finances. Is this relevant? Yes, this is relevant. Because why? Because it is related to your topic, finance commission, fiscal policy, union budget. So this becomes very, very important, right? और आपको एक चीज और बहुत ध्यान में रखनी है. इन हिंदू एवरी डे देयर इज अ डेटा पॉइंट. यहाँ पे एक डेटा पॉइंट आता है which gives you lot of data. Most of the times it is useful if it is related to some survey, some report, but right now more or less it is related to position of or status of Omicron virus in UK, which is not at all relevant for you, but most of the times it is very, very relevant, right? Data point, do not leave this. And one more point I want to tell you, apart from these editorials, opinions which are given huge space, there are opinions, right, or perspectives given on the left hand side, small columns. These are also good, provided they are relevant to your syllabus. For example, the first is India must redouble efforts towards Central Asia to counter the great game rivalry. So it is related to sports, not of much significance to you. Then Indian men thrived on badminton's big stage and returned with 2 medals. Not much relevant to you. But many a times these articles which are given small space, these perspectives which are given small space on the left hand side carry really good points. Do not leave them if they are relevant to your syllabus. Right. Apart from that, yes, if you still want to waste some time, if you still have a lot of time on your hands, then you can read business section also. But apart from that, I would not recommend you to read anything from the newspaper. Then how to cover that portion? The answer is simple. Since it requires a lot of filtering, note making, it is not comprehensive, I would suggest go for some compiled magazine. And compiled magazine doesn't mean that you have to always go for a paid course. Even if you are doing self preparation, there are a lot of websites, right, which gives compiled magazines for free. So you can avail for that. Now in the editorial page, I want to tell you two very, very important points. First is mapped to syllabus. Read only the editorials which are mapped to syllabus. If there is an article on does Congress needs to revive its friendship with Samajwadi Party to win more seats in Uttar Pradesh, is that relevant to you? Might be. You say that this Indian political system is a topic in your syllabus, but then, I mean, this article is not much required for you, right? If there is an article on a defense system, is that relevant? Not much. I mean, defense system is not something for you. It is not in your syllabus. If there is article on status of health, if there is article on status of education in India or in the world, is that important? That is very, very, very important for you because it is mapped to your syllabus. That's why understanding the syllabus is very, very important. Otherwise, you will end up even wasting time while reading the editorials. तो editorials पढ़ने हैं पर सारे नहीं पढ़ने हैं जो आपके syllabus से map करते हैं. Next is balanced opinion. So while these 2 weeks I was reading the newspapers, I mean, I was really perturbed to see that people are giving totally one-sided views. And it is not like that is against government or in favor of government. Some people will write totally in the favor of government within one newspaper itself. Some people will write totally against the government. So it seems like, no, this thing is totally wrong. India is not giving booster doses. That is completely wrong. Something really bad will happen if we don't give the booster doses. That kind of opinion, that kind of perspective you will tend to make from that article. So I will caution you that always try to have a balanced view. If you read an article which is giving you one-sided view, that's okay. Try to understand that. But at the same time, try to counter that by searching on Google. Right? That if he's telling about the disadvantages, what can be the advantages of that? There will always be counter views to everything in this world. तो आपको वो बहुत ध्यान रखना है, ठीक है? और कहीं आपको मिलेगा कि आज वेडनेसडे को एक आर्टिकल आया, वो बता रहा है कि ये चीज बुरी है. Then suddenly on Saturday there would be an article, ये चीज अच्छी है. You should be confused. No. That is what I am telling you. Opinions might differ, and that's logical. But by reading those different opinions, you have to reach your own opinion, or maybe you have to reach a balanced view. ठीक है, ये इस चीज के बारे में अच्छा है, ये इस चीज के बारे में बुरा है. ठीक है, तो समझ आया न्यूज़पेपर को कैसे पढ़ना है, क्या रेलेवेंट है, टाइम वेस्ट से कैसे बचना है. नेक्स्ट, सम मोर गाइडलाइंस. बी रेगुलर, राइट. अगर आप न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ रहे हैं, एडिटोरियल्स को डेली पढ़िए, so as to have a link with what is happening. 20 मिनट से ज्यादा मत दीजिए, हद. if you want to devote more time, you have more time. 30 minutes, that's more than enough. Don't waste time 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hour on reading the newspaper. टाइम स्लॉट क्या अच्छा है? कुछ लोग कहते हैं सुबह पढ़ना चाहिए, कुछ लोग कहते हैं दोपहर को पढ़ना चाहिए, लंच टाइम पे पढ़ना चाहिए, चाय टाइम पे पढ़ना चाहिए. वैसे तो आप किसी टाइम भी पढ़ लीजिए, बट माय सजेशन इज पर्सनली के the morning period is productive, you are fresh, read something conceptual. Newspaper you can read in office breaks. Newspapers are available in lunch time, chai break, or before sleeping when you are not at your best. I think this is a good time slot to read the newspapers. ठीक है? So I hope with this video all your doubts would be answered. At least now you would be more productive, right? More directed while reading a newspaper. So thanks for now. Have a nice day. Bye bye.